Okay, so let's work on fractions. Multiplying and dividing fractions. The first thing you want to do is you want to remember, you want to have like a cloud. So whenever you learn something new, you want to put the things you're learning in this cloud, right? So like the processes and the different routes. You could do plan A, plan B, plan C. You could have an A, a B, and a C. These are the different routes you go. Say if this doesn't work, then I'll back up and go to B. If B doesn't work, back up, go to C. But you also want to have your P for processes. So you want to have this. So when I think about multiplying fractions, what am I thinking about? One thing you want to think about is cross-canceling, especially when it gets tougher. Cross-canceling is very helpful. So what it is, I'm writing really sloppy right now. Okay, sorry about the spelling. It's E and an L. Okay, so but if you can't cross-cancel, then just multiply straight across. So the first thing you should look at is cross-canceling. The second thing you should look at is multiplying. And when you multiply, what are you multiplying? Well, you're multiplying the numerator times the numerator, or the denominator times the denominator. So that's going to be 2 over 15, and you can't reduce that, so that's the final answer. Let's try something else. Let's try 4/9 times 3/16. Let's do some math. Let's say you don't cross-cancel. Let's say you skip this. Let's say you just go to 2 and you multiply. All right. 4 times 3 is 12. 9 times 16. Well, let's have a little fun here. Try to do it in our head. 9's close to 10. Let's do 16 times 10. It's 160, right? Add a 0 at the end. 160. And then minus 16. So it's 160 minus 16. What is that? 144. 16 times 9 is going to be 144. So now, can you reduce that? Yeah, you can. Well, they're both even, so you definitely can reduce them. But then hopefully, this cloud, we're thinking about this cloud for these multiplication problems, but also you can think about, flags. Like you could think of like a bell. What bell? What bell rings? What bell rings? Well, when you see 144, you should have a bell that rings. It's 12 squared. 12 times 12. So, so it's 1 over 12. I like to circle the answers in general, especially with homework or tests or quizzes. If it is, if it turn in or whatnot, you might want to circle it or box it or something. So you can, if you want to do that, 12 divided by 12, because remember it's the same fraction, just divided by 12. That's not bad, right? But let's see what we do if we cross cancel. So you look at these, they go across. That's why they call it cross, because it goes diagonal. Essentially, it's that diagonally across. So what if any number goes into 3 and 9 evenly? Exactly, 3. So put a 3 out here. Circle that. No, sorry, excuse me. Put a 1 out here. 1, 1, 1. because 3 divided by 3 is 1. And then 9 divided by 3 is 3. So I'm going to put a 3 out here. Circle that. And what goes into 16 and 4 evenly? If anything, if any integer. Yep, 4. So 4 divided by 5. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 16 divided by 4 is 4. The reason why I circle them is because then it makes it super easy to know that you're multiplying. So it's like, all right, 1 times 1 is 1. 3 times 4 is 12. But at least even if you don't circle these numbers out here, as long as you put them out here, sort of on the same plane, and they're out in this corner here, they're easy to see. That's the real key, is what to ignore, what to look at, how easy is it to see, how difficult is it to see, etc. So let's do one more. So let's say we got 3/5 times 120 over 1. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. You definitely could just multiply straight across, right? But let's see if we can do cross canceling. Well, 1 is just 1, so nothing there. But what about this? So you always want to look at, what do you know? Well, you know that 5 goes into numbers that end in what digits? 5 and 0. If they end in 5 or 0, 5 goes into it. So 5 definitely goes into 120. So what's 5 divided by 5? 1. What's 120 divided by 5? Well, 5 goes into 12 twice, right? 12 minus 10, right? 5 times 2 is 10. 12 minus 10 is 2. 2, bring down the 0, 20. 5 goes into 20 4 times. Now, it makes it even easier to do this in your head, in my opinion, if you practice, obviously. But also, if you know the rule, if you know for certain that 5 goes into it evenly. So that's why you've got 24 times 3, which is, if you didn't know what it was, you could do a couple things. Okay, you can do 20 times 3 and then 4 times 3, add them up. 20 times 3 is 60. 4 times 3 is 12. 60 plus 12 is 72. You could also do, because quarters are popular, right? 25 cents, 25, 25 and 100 are pretty popular. So when you see 25, see if you can potentially work with it. Well, what's 25 times 3, right? That's 3 quarters, 75 cents. So that's 75. What's 75 minus one group of 3? That's also 72. So a couple ways to solve it. That is multiplying positive integers and specifically positive fractions.